Okay, snowman video part 3. Now that we have a forest and then we've got a snowman that is sad and he's mad because it's do not talk to me please. Because he's mad and he's sad. We've got a layer for the forest. What I want you to do is I want you to move your forest to the edge. Mine is wanting to go slow because there's a lot of symbols there. All right, to the edge-ish. Sure, that'll work. Now, I'm going to lock this layer. No, let's tell it from frame 1 to I'm going to go frame 90. I'm going to insert a keyframe. I'm going to F6, and I'm going to move this over. Just move my forest over using my selection tool. But I don't want it completely off the stage. There. And I'm going to tell it to classic tween. Do not do a motion tween. We will cover motion tween when you're ready. You guys are not ready to motion tween, so just ask it to classic tween. So now it goes from point A to point B. I'm going to lock that layer. I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call it Snowman. Because now we are in scene 1. Some of you punks are doing all this in symbol edit mode. Your stuff is not working. You're frustrated because you're not following instructions. I heard a kid yesterday specifically said, I was like, okay, make a line. And she was like, we didn't tell us what to do. I said, well, I gave you the instructions. She goes, well, I wasn't paying attention. If you do not pay attention and you don't get this, it's your fault. I am not. Nice Miss Olden is gone. You should have asked for Nice Miss. You're going to have to ask for Nice Miss Olden for Christmas because she is gone. Bye-bye. All right. So I'm going to put my snowman here on the stage. Now here, this is a tricky bit. Use your selection tool. Go to your property inspector. Here's the deal. Currently, your snowman is going to act like a movie clip. And what that means, if I do a command return, my snowman is going to go set. Do you see that? He's going, his face just keeps moving, moving, moving. I don't want that to happen. I want him to stay sad, and I want it to stay on a single frame. To do that, I got to go to my property inspector, my snowman selected, go to my movie clip. Instead of it acting like a movie clip, I'm going to tell it to act like a graphic. And as I tell it to graphic, I don't want it to loop. I want it to stay on a single frame. As a matter of fact, I want it to stay on frame 1. So when I do my command return, Hims is just going to stay mad. Okay? All right. Hims is going to stay mad. So let him stay mad while the background is doing its thing. Once it gets to frame 90, everything stops. What I want to have happen is I want us to do a close-up on Snowman's face. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but just go ahead and follow me. We're going to put a keyframe in at 91. So F6 on Snowman and F6 on the background. You need to have that extra one. Now, we haven't done this before, so follow me closely. Click this keyframe, hold down your Shift key, click the other keyframe. Using your free transform tool, we're going to resize everything at the same time. Hold down your Shift key so that it'll maintain the proportions. What we are essentially doing is we are doing a zoom in. So here's an animation trick. To give the illusion of zooming in Animate, what you're essentially doing is just making something bigger. So it goes, my movie's going to go slow, da-da-da-da. He's walking, he's walking, he's walking, he's walking. And then we're going to do a zoom up on his face. Now, on this snowman's face right here, I'm going to click on him. I don't want him to stay sad. As a matter of fact, I want it to play my whole animation that we spent all yesterday working on. So tell it to play once. It's going to play once, and that lasts until, how many frames was that? Let's go back. Let's go to our library, double click on our snowman. That lasts for 20 frames. And go to scene 1. Go back to scene 1. So 20 frames, 90. Let's add 20 to that. That's 110. So I'm going to do an F5 for now because I don't know. First, we're going to let him F5. So right here, Snowman is going to get happy. Hims is sad, then he starts to get happy, right? Now, let's put in another keyframe at 111, F6, F6. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I don't want to do the F6 there. Sure. Shift key it, because we're selecting both keyframes at the same time. Resize. Let's make it smaller again, because now we need to make it snow. That's the whole point of doing this thing. And we got to see why he's happy. So, there we go. How about, I want that last tree on the edge. Boy, my computer's going slow. I'm going to release. All right, now let's make it snow. So I'm going to lock those two layers. Make a new layer. I believe the only class that I was able to do snow was second period. So I'm going to call this Snowflake 1, because we're going to make it snow. He is happy when he starts to get happy around what? Right here he gets happy. So that's when I'm going to start making it snow. I'm going to first put a keyframe. I'm going to go to my library and I'm going to take a snowflake. Come on, snowflake. Now, obviously that snowflake is freakishly large. Let's make it smaller. Put it at the edge. The snowflake's got to fall. It's going to fall. We want it to do a slow fall. Sure. I'm going to tell it to do like in 120, 140. F6, I'm going to tell my snowflake to fall down. Okay. And then because it's already assembled, I'm going to tell it to classic tween. So we know how to make our snowflake fall, right? I got to tell this snowflake to rotate. Click in between the keyframe, go to your property inspector, rotate clockwise. I'm going to only tell it to spin once because snowflakes, they fall slowly. Now, all that other stuff disappears, so I'm going to F5, tell it to stay on the stage because I know y'all are freaking out about that. So, snowflake falls. As the snowflake falls, I want it to fade out. Click your selection tool. Here's the tricky bit. Here's the new thing. Click the last keyframe once. Click the symbol on the stage once. Then you're going to see an option in your property inspector. Some of you guys did not follow instruction and your snowflake is anorexic, so it's going to be hard to select it. Poop on you. Go back to your symbol edit mode and make that snowflake, I need a fat, healthy snowflake. So anyways, you're going to go to your color effect and it says none. You want it to go to alpha, and alpha needs to be set to 0. That means that's how see-through it is. So now it's going to fall and then it slowly disappears. That's why the snowman is happy. Do you see that? All right. We just did one snowflake. I want about a good solid, like maybe 6 to 10 snowflakes. Now, I'm all about cheating, so let's cheat animation. Let's do this the easy way. You right mouse click on your Snowflake 1 layer and tell it to duplicate the layer. And this one's going to be called Snowflake 1 again, but actually it's going to be Snowflake 2. You can rename it. But here's what you do. It's going to put it in exact same location. We don't want the second snowflake to be in the same location. As a matter of fact, we want it to move over here. And instead of it going clockwise, we want this snowman to go counterclockwise. Snowflake goes counterclockwise. And it's going to end in the exact same spot. We don't want it to end in the exact same spot. We want it to end over there. And we don't want it to start at the same time as the first snowflake. How confusing is this? So I'm going to click my layer name. It's going to select everything. And then I'm going to click and drag this to allow it to stagger. Does that make sense? So here, one snowflake falls. It's going to go, and then the second snowflake falls. So your task is to copy and paste these snowflakes, move the first keyframe, tell the snowflake where to start, tell the snowflake where to end. Now, of course, my snowman in my forest is disappearing. So I'm going to come out here and go to do an F5. I can do this individually, or I can do it together. And I want you to give me between 6 to 10 snowflakes. I'm doing this video because my spidey sense is telling me that some of y'all are getting bored as hell. So those of you who are bored as hell, here is your advance. Do it, because I don't think we'll get all this done in class period today. Thank you for listening. Happy hump day, punks.